Revolutionary greetings, comrades. The opposition has betrayed the people of Zimbabwe. From the movement for democratic change to CCC, the people of Zimbabwe have been betrayed. In 2018, Zimbabweans went to elect their representatives at local and the constituency level. After elections, recall happened inside the MDC alliance. The internal fights inside the MDC alliance were a betrayal to the people of Zimbabwe. The argument being advanced is that one faction, which was responsible for the recalls in MDC alliance, was aligned to one faction in ZANU-PF. In 2023, the people of Zimbabwe again went to the elections. They elected their public representatives. Some were later recalled. And this was a betrayal of the people of Zimbabwe. One faction again that was responsible for the recalls in CCC was alleged to be belonging to one faction inside the ZANU-PF. So in other words, you have an opposition that is aligned to the ruling party. One faction in the opposition being aligned to one faction in the ruling party, and the other one again aligned to the other faction in the ruling party. But why this betrayal of the voters? We need to analyze the foundation in which the opposition is built. The opposition is built on a democratic project to say, let us democratize Zimbabwe, build a movement, as was the case with the movement for democratic change. Build a movement that will democratize the Zimbabwean state without any ideological grounding. Even if you build another movement, be it blue, whatever color, you will encounter similar challenges. Where again in 2028, public representatives elected, some are going to be recalled because one faction in the opposition is aligned to the other faction in ZANU-PF. So the foundation, it's wrong. When you're building a mass movement, you need to build it grounded in the people of Zimbabwe. What do we mean? The people of Zimbabwe waged a struggle against the colonialism. The liberation of Zimbabwe is not complete. What Zimbabwe needs is to complete her liberation. Complete her liberation meaning that the entire economy must be placed in the hands of the majority. It means we must dismantle the neo-colonial state in Zimbabwe. It means we must dismantle imperialism and their stooges in Zimbabwe. It means we must dismantle the looting class. So the struggle is not about reforming the Zimbabwean state. So when you talk of reforming in what is termed a democratic project, it then aligns you to one faction in the ruling party, which is of the view that the democratic process or democratic project can happen in the reformation of ZANU-PF. This is why today some in the opposition who are opposed to the third term by Mnangagwa see Mnangagwa as a problem for advocating for a third term. We do not see Mnangagwa as a problem for advocating for a third term. We see ZANUism as a problem, and the ZANUism must be defeated. So the danger in the democratic project is that some will align themselves with those in ZANU-PF who are opposed to the third term project by Emmerson Mnangagwa, and they pack the agenda of completing the liberation of Zimbabwe. Because part of completing the liberation of Zimbabwe is to dismantle ZANUism as a political and economic ideology. What is this political and economic ideology, which is ZANUism? Firstly, the political leadership is not accountable to anyone. The political leadership is cultist in nature. It is founded on cultism. We have spoken about cultism inside ZANU-PF, IDIFE. We have spoken about cultism inside the opposition, Chamisa Chetechet. That is ZANUism. And this economic ideology, it is based on what is the commandery, command. We've heard a command, agriculture command, this command, that. Imposition of an economic policy to the people of Zimbabwe without consulting. The ongoing evictions are a clear sign of an economy that is being built along ZANUism as an economic and a political ideology. So an opposition that is founded on what is called a democratic project will continue to betray the people of Zimbabwe. Some 2 MPs in Harare who were elected by the people had to resign, betraying the trust of the voters. Some were recalled, betraying the trust of the voters. So what Zimbabwe needs? Zimbabwe needs a revolutionary political formation to complete the liberation of Zimbabwe. And this means that the people of Zimbabwe themselves, as Che Guevara taught us, should not rally behind the lead, should not be involved in a cultist political movement. It means the people of Zimbabwe must complete the liberation of Zimbabwe themselves, led by the vanguard of the working class and the peasantry. Please write your comments, like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're on TikTok, please do follow us. I am Ngqabutho Nicholas Mabhena, General Secretary of the Zimbabwe Communist Party. Amandla, comrades.